The winning streak is over regardless now with the defeat at the hands of the Golden Bears, who have come in here and played very well. And now we're ready to turn our focus to this one. And the first pitch of the ball game from Megan Golden is inside ball one to Ritter. Ritter, the center fielder, will be followed by Fagan and Green. There's a strike. It's tough conditions right now if you're a batter. The pitcher is in the bright sun. The batter is in the shade, and there are ribbons of both between the plate and the circle. So there's shade, sun, shade, and sun again. The outfield bathed in sunlight. It's toughest on the right fielder, center fielder, second baseman, though only the center fielder, Treeweiler, is wearing the shades. There's a looper to shortstop and one out as it's gathered in by Caitlin Dunkel. So dependable over there, Dunkel.
I mean, she's such a great athlete, and this was a great start by Megan Golden, getting their leadoff hitter out. This is how you want to start the game. You want to start it off strong, and you've talked so much about, you know, the sun and the shade and all of these things. It's going to be hard for the Hokies to be able to adjust to that with Megan's spin.
But you could see the ball pass. It's in the sun when it leaves her hand, and you might not be able to pick that up on the TV set. But it passes through, it gets dark, and then it gets a brief moment of light as it passes through a ribbon of sun about 4 feet in front of the batter's boxes. There you go. You can see it going right across there. So it's a tricky look if you're a batter. This is Fagan, and Cameron Fagan batting .400, as was Ritter, as is Green on deck, and Castine is .500 plus. So a lot of big numbers at the top of the batting order for this very fine Virginia Tech team.
But you know, that's what you expect from a team ranked as they are, and for a team that continues to go to the tournament. It's what you expect to see, especially at the top of the lineup.
Ball hit to center field fairly deep, but back to catch it is Treeweiler. Half a dozen steps, retreating toward the track. Quickly 2 out.
Now batting, number 6, Addie Green.
Golden is the pitcher on the Lopes roster that is most likely to rack up strikeouts. Led the team in that department last year by plenty. She had 33 more Ks than Ariel Thompson did a year ago in far less innings. Golden with 95 innings pitched and 117 strikeouts in those 95. Batting average against .201, that was a year ago. Addie Green, .455. You look at the hit totals for Tech. 12, 10, 10, 10, 10, 8, 7. That's pretty good 1 through 6, you know. Consistency. Who's the out in that order? Where's the easy out? Well, there really is not an easy out. In fact, coaches would say there's no easy out, even if somebody's hitting goose eggs. Popped up foul behind the plate. It's just how fans think of it. Well, somebody's batting 186. That's our out person. And you do strategize. It's a numbers game, softball like anything else. It's all about statistics and figuring it out, the law of averages, playing the percentages, all of that business. 1 and 2. Pop foul again. The breeze is blowing out to right slightly. probably 5 miles per hour. It was 4 when we started the game. It's generally running about 6 to 7 at this time of year in the desert. On a good day, a normal day. Another beautiful afternoon. You know, when you come in on days like this, you realize this is a pretty good reason why spring training is in Arizona. It's just wonderful climate. Foul back. Ball up in the zone, and Green just got a tip. Of course, 2 weeks ago, it was in the low 30s. So, not quite as volatile as other parts of the country, but it holds true, that old saying, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. Somebody did turn the air conditioning on here in the press box earlier today. You think, wait just a second, hang on now. We haven't reached that level. Fouled off the net. A long at bat for Annie Green. Rachel Castine waiting her turn in the on-deck circle.
This has been a great at-bat for both the pitcher and the batter. I mean, they've gone back and forth. You can see that Megan's trying to throw everything that she has right here to Green, and Green's just fighting everything off.
Well, that's some pretty good hitting, isn't it? Gapper after all of that, and it's a 2-out double for Addie Green. So Green wins the battle. That's fun stuff. That's a good softball play right there. Foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, double. You got to just love that.
And you know, it was a good pitch by Megan Golden as well, but Green saw it out of her hand and saw that it was going to go into that outside corner, and she was able to just get her hands there and extend it.
Run in scoring position for Castine. 10 for 19 in the early going this season. 5:26. Timeout is called, and a quick jaunt to the circle from Mary Beth Gorsuch, the pitching coach. Mary Beth, if you don't know, an accomplished collegiate pitcher, a star at LSU. First perfect game in LSU history was tossed by Mary Beth Gorsuch. And she came in with Shannon Hayes here before the 2022 season. So this is her third year. She's had her say. It might have been a scouting report visit. 1-0 is the count. Check swing, and it made contact. That is a hit batsman. Those can be called a foul ball if the batter is in the act of swinging, but she was not swinging. She was check swinging, and clearly it held up. Gets her on the hand, so Castine takes her base.
And you know, in situations like that, it's really hard as an umpire or even as a fan to figure out, like, was she actually swinging at that pitch? But she did a really good job stopping, holding her hands there. And unfortunately, I hope she's okay down the line over there.
Well, you've been hit by pitches. You've played ball for a long time. And, you know, fans take this for granted, but, you know, it does hurt. The ball's coming in at what? Sometimes high 60s?
Absolutely. It's a stinger, for sure.
It does. You know, you get hit by those foul balls that you foul straight down on the top of your foot. It's like dropping the washing machine on your big toe. I mean, it really just it totally immobilizes you. And they get back in the box and swing again. Bree Peck now with a chance to put the Hokies on top. Peck, the 5-hole hitter, lines it foul. Peck at 381. Peck was hitless in the first game today. 0 for 3 against Cal. 1-1 the count. 2-1.
And on the pitch before that, I love that Megan Golden is not afraid to get inside on some of these really big hitters. And it really has seemed to be working for her, especially with the constant foul balls and swing and misses that she's already gotten so far.
Another foul ball. Count level 2-2. Cal, a winner over Virginia Tech earlier today and over Illinois State just before airtime here. They won 5-2. The Golden Bears now 9-0. We'll have more games tomorrow. GCU is playing Fullerton. Game time tomorrow morning, 11:30. Now between now and then, we're going to play this one. And then we'll play a second one tonight against Illinois State. Then you have Fullerton. Get a few hours of sleep and come back to the yard. Get the Titans. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Golden fighting it just a little bit after 2 quick outs. A couple of full count at-bats and a hit batsman. Another foul ball. That'll run up your pitch count a little bit. Kristen Fifield in for the handoff. And another. Coach Pete Demore at third base in his 6th season. Ball 4. Green moves up to third base. Castine to second.
Emily Leggett.
And Peck jogs to first base. So a walk and a hit batsman. 2 freebies against a good hitting team. A little nervous time for Golden here in the top of the first. There's a strike.
You know, it kind of makes you think, what are the Hokies going to do right now to make GCU pay for those 2 back-to-back freebies?
Well, that's what good teams do typically. Leggett is batting .385. Two for 3 in the first game against Cal. Couple of singles. Ducks on the pond, sacks full. Deep in center field is Treeweiler. Golden behind again, 2-1. Well, the number of walks that score, usually about half, and it's higher if it leads off an inning. Of course, these did not lead off the inning. Two balls and 2 strikes. Of course, you're always just 1 pitch away from getting out of it.
Absolutely. But they always say a walk is just as good as a hit, too, so.
strike 3, retires the side. Golden exhales as she wanders toward the dugout. It wasn't pretty, but it's a scoreless first inning, top half. We'll be right. Splitting a pair yesterday, defeating Memphis 7-0. Losing to Cal 7-4. Treeweiler against the starting pitcher, Lemley.
So number 27, Emma Lemley, has the team's highest ERA at 3.23 with 13 innings pitched, with 14 walks, and then 11 strikeouts. So the Lopes need to hold strong with their discipline at bats and make her throw pitches.
Yeah, GCU has been walking a little here and there, but not at the rate that we have seen in some games previously. But, you know, look, when you look at stats like that, it really is somewhat nebulous. It depends on who you're facing. If you have control pitchers and you have good teams that you're facing, it's not like you can stand out there and wait for a walk. And Shannon Hayes doesn't coach that way anyhow. It's all about swinging at good pitches, put the ball in play.
Absolutely. He wants you to be aggressive when you're up there at the plate.
Treeweiler showing bunt. She has a couple bunt singles already. Also, if memory serves, 3 other infield hits. Good speed, as you would expect from a leadoff hitter. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Her at-bats are so fun to watch. She changes what she's doing just about every single pitch because she wants her defense to continue to move around so she can find a hole and get on base.
That's why you show bunt, right? Even with 2 strikes?
And sometimes it's to help you see what she's throwing a little bit easier.
Cameron Fagan makes the catch of that pop-up, and Treeweiler retired, 1 out.
Number 7, Bryn Jordan Smythe.
And here's Bryn Jordan Smythe. If you had told me that Bryn Jordan Smythe was going to bat either first or second after spending the first week in the 9 spot, I would have guessed that she would have batted first, with Treeweiler batting second. But the Lopes opt for it a different way. And since Shannon Hayes has forgotten more softball than I've ever known, I'm going to guess that he's on track with his game.
So normally wheels turn in his head consistently,
yes.
So.
Boy, if you weren't tuned in last night, the wheels were not only turning, they were spinning madly, wildly. 5 different players subbed out and then came back in and then changed positions. It was crazy town.
You know, but it shows the depth of the GCU team this year. I mean, so many girls can play so many different positions, whether that's the infield, whether that's the outfield, and then they can pretty much hit anywhere as well.
Well, he told me that about a week before the season started, that he had a good problem.
Yes.
Bryn Jordan goes down on strikes. Like some changeup delivery from.
Number 9, Caitlin
Well, that was
Dunkel.
not a changeup.
It was very fast.
It was very fast. I'm fighting the shade and the sun deal. Come on. I'm looking through a window. 2 out, nobody on. Everything's a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes to Caitlin Dunkel. Dunkel at 278, I think we can agree she's not where she will be later. Kind of slow start for Caitlin. Though some very big hits. Responsible for, well, I think arguably 2 of the 5 wins are because of some Dunkel heroics. There was another pitch that was not a changeup. She's bringing it pretty good.
Yes, for sure. I mean, you can hear the pop of the glove from up here in the box, and she is working both sides of the plate really well, and she's also utilizing a very low rise ball on both slappers that we saw before.
3-1 to Dunkel with Fifield next.
But a lot of times when a pitcher is throwing as hard as Lemley is, you can let her provide all of the power for you, so you just have to shorten up and try and poke it somewhere.
Can of corn, as they say, and making the catch in left field is Addie Green to retire the side. The Lopes go out 1-2. Yeager for Virginia Tech. The Hokies in this scoreless game, top 2, foul ball. 0-1. Golden squeaked out of the first inning, escaping a bases loaded situation. Lemley, her opposite number, just charged through. 1, 2, 3, boom. So a different look, but both lines in the scoreboard have zeros on them. 0-2 to Chatfield. Michelle at 389. Seven for 18. Chatfield 0 for 2 with a walk against Cal in the first game. Treeweiler playing into left center. Gianna, yes, I do know what a Hokie is. Testing me between innings. I thought I'd save it for on-air humiliation.
Never to humiliate. I just wanted to know.
The nickname was picked in 1896, if you must know.
Oh, wow.
A student entered a contest and wrote out a cheer. And his cheer was, Hokie, 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 High, Tex, Tex, VPI. Because they were Virginia Polytechnic Institute, which is their official name. So commit that to memory. You'll be saying that when you're in bed tonight, thinking about it. Hokie, 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 High, Tex, Tex, VPI. And that was the winning cheer contest, and Hokie became the name that was adopted just as a matter of course. Later, a turkey became the mascot.
Oh, okay.
And it was called Gobbler.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got Gobbler is a Hokie, but a Hokie is not anything. A Hokie is something that O.M. Stull in 1896 came up with out of his brain. And the Stull family could be very proud.
All right.
How many foul balls are we counting? My goodness.
A lot.
2-2.
But you know, this is why Virginia Tech goes to the tournament every single year. They wait and try to find the pitch that they want. They will foul off every pitch that they don't want to find that perfect one.
Micaiah Gomez finally puts away Chatfield. Chatfield, kind of a softer stroke that time as opposed to the harder swing against the harder stuff. Tried to time that thing. And that's the challenge with Golden, with that spin business, it's tough to deal with. She was so effective in the regional last year against UCLA in her 2+ innings of work. You mix that in and amongst some harder throwing girls before and after, and it's a pretty effective tool. Blackwell is the batter and quickly behind on the count. 0-2.
And I think what makes Megan so effective is that her tools can be used in any count, and she's willing to throw them no matter what, whether that's her changeup, whether that's her rise ball, to try and get hitters to swing and miss.
Strike 3, Blackwell goes down. Second strikeout for Megan Golden.
Now batting.
2 gone to Yeager.
Number 15, Zoe Yeager.
And I don't know if that would have been necessarily a strike, but you can't leave that pitch up to the umpires, so Blackwell had no choice but to try and give a swing for it.
Hummed that one pretty good. Yeager going after it. Zoe at 5:56, 5 for 9. Yeager's first appearance today. She did not see action against Cal. Pops it up. Another chance for Micaiah Gomez in left field. She puts it away, and the side is retired. 3 in a row put down by Golden. A scoreless top 2, bottom half when we come back. And if you're not a GCU fan, it's still the first of 2. Lopes playing Illinois State later tonight. The game is scheduled for 6:30, in case you're wondering. 1 ball and no strikes is the count to Kristen Fifield, starting it off for the Lopes. 2 more multi-hit games for Fifield yesterday. Man, it'll be depressing when she's not here next year.
It's going to be hard to fill her shoes, for sure.
Will you be here? That's the question. If you are, it won't be nearly as depressing. For the listeners who don't know who you are, stolen base leader, all this, all that, great career here, Grand Canyon. Lemley pitched last night at ASU. How did it turn out? Well, complete game shutout, 2-hitter. So she's on a roll. 2-2 to Fifield. Pop foul. Fifield an even 500. As it stands, 10 for 20. She scored 5 runs, a double and a home run. 11 ribbies, leads the club. All-American. Strike 3 called. She knew it and was on her way back to the dugout before Michael Hernandez, the plate umpire, could
Now batting, number 32,
complete his
Ramsey Lopez.
call.
You know, and
1 out.
I think she was just looking for something different. I think she might have been looking up for a rise ball, considering she got a couple of those beforehand, and Lemley was living a little bit on the outside, and I don't know if she was expecting that inside pitch.
Here's Lopez. Ramsey with a nice day in the first game yesterday. Inserted into the lineup for the first time. Missed last weekend, saved 2 pinch hitting appearances, but now fully good to go. 3 base hits against Memphis. 0 for 1 in the nightcap, but did walk a couple of times against Cal. Swing and a miss. Outfield around to left, at least such is the case for Green and Ritter on the left side. Right fielder straight away, Blackwell. So the gap is in right center. Of course, we see Lopez go that way a lot. On deck, Tinley Lucas. Oof.
That was close.
Fans still coming in. It's a nice environment. Strike 3. Might have gotten a piece, but gloved by Yeager. Back-to-back strikeouts.
Lemley's feeling it. You can tell. Everything is working for her right now. That up pitch, outside, inside, it is all working for her right now. So the Lopes have to do the best that they can to try and see if they can cut that confidence down just a little bit.
Lucas, freshman catcher. Mentioned this last week, G, that it's unusual to have a 5'11" catcher.
That's true. But she's awesome.
She is a very talented young lady, and I guess it bears repeating that Shannon Hayes says that's probably the best recruit he's ever had.
That would make sense. Just watching her behind the plate, she catches like a veteran. As a freshman, that's hard to do.
Do you think it's getting tougher for freshmen to come up and get into the lineup right away these days than even 5 years ago?
I think it depends. I think it depends on where you played travel ball, the types of pitchers you saw on a consistent basis. But I do think that there's a lot of talent. So it can be really difficult. Just depends on the team and what the coach believes your role is as a freshman.
Mm-hmm. Savannah Kirk and Tinley Lucas both in the starting lineup. A couple of Frosh, and it's all good from what we've seen. Full count pitch. Tough at bat for Lucas. Strike 3 called, inside corner, beautiful spot. Strikes out the side.
2 innings.
The Hokies back to the top of the order. Ritter, Fagan, and Green. Fly ball to left, slicing into foul territory and coming over to make a nice catch on the soft dive. That was a soft dive by Micaiah Gomez. One pitch, one out.
Yeah, that was a great play. I mean, she had to come in pretty far and from where she was playing in order to make that play, and that was awesome because she misses that. I don't know if the umpire thinks it's foul or fair and something gets messed up. She did a great job with that.
Covered a lot of ground.
Absolutely.
I ran into her mom in the parking garage last weekend, and they were just effusive with praise about this university and how much the whole family loves Micaiah playing here.
That's awesome. It's a great place to be.
Yes. Fagan 0 for 1, fly to center field. Yeah, it is a bit of a departure from where she began her college career. Micaiah was at Utah.
It's cold.
Cold.
They have snow right now, I think.
Well, it happens. Hurry. Too late. Slow roller. Pulled off the bat of Fagan. And
Now batting,
Kirk stayed
number
back a
6,
little bit too long.
Green.
Yeah, beat it.
Sometimes that's all you need, though. I mean, many times softball players will tell you it doesn't always have to be the prettiest as long as you're on base and you give your team an opportunity to score.
Well, we've talked about this before, but softball is a game that a lot of baseball fans transition to, if for no other reason than maybe dads played the game themselves, played baseball, and then they have daughters, and the daughters play softball, and it develops a fan base. It's a completely different game. Softball and baseball, they have bases and a plate and bats and balls and gloves, but it's a completely different game. So many different strategies.
And the speed.
The speed is intense. A two-hop ground ball to the left side is not a given.
No, never is.
That was a roller to second base. But we see it all the time, John. And, you know, during your career, let's just ask this. How many hits, in terms of a percentage, would you say you had a good career? So let's just say that. How many of your hits were infield hits? Balls that did not leave the infield?
Probably.
Half?
Oh, I was going to say like
70?
90%. At least 90.
A career 330 hitter or whatever you were.
Definitely most of my hits were in the infield.
Strike 3. Golden goes after Green this time and completes
Number 55,
the at-bat with a K. That's her third strikeout. Runner still at first base. We'll see if Fagan is given the green light. This is Castine's spot. And Castine is out of the game. Annika Rose. Oh boy. That makes you worry a little bit, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you take a ball off the hand like that, we're hoping that she's okay.
Annika Rose says, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that was a great job. I mean, that was a tough inside pitch, and she kind of just punched it to the left side of the field, which is really all you need to do in that situation. And it just shows the depth of Virginia Tech as well and the hitters that they have on their bench.
2 out, 2 on. A 2-hit inning. Foul ball straight back off the bat of Peck. Peck walked in the first. Tech loaded the bases in the first inning, stranded them. Went out in order in the second. 2 on with 2 out here in the third. Megan Golden trying to squeeze out of another jam. To the backstop. Wild pitch all the way. 2 more in scoring position.
You know, with the addition of Annika into the lineup now, they have 5 freshmen in their starting lineup for Virginia Tech.
That is impressive. One and two. Gianna, what happens to a pitcher throwing the rise ball when they get tired? Does it rise more or less?
It depends. Sometimes it can rise more just based on the fact that they're, you know, trying to get it to jump the way it was in the first couple innings, but it can also end up laying flat. And either way, it's not what you want. You're either going to give up walks or you're going to give up those huge hits to the gaps or over the fence, and that's when teams start to put runs on the board.
So a spinner like Golden has to be fresh, rested. That ball was hit a long, long way foul. Wow. Two and two, the count. That got some oohs and ahs in the stance.
I mean, it's hard not to. That ball jumped off the bat, and it's over there in the Grove fields, far, far away.
Peck is a tough out. Fouls balls off. Takes the bad ones, fouls another one right on cue. She fouled off probably a half dozen in her first at-bat. Has worked the count full again.
And that's what a lot of these Hokie players have done. They've worked deep into the count to try and get Megan Golden to be tired, and she's hanging in there for sure.
Looper to left, tough play, coming hard. Gomez then has to jam on the brakes and makes the catch. Golden heaves another sigh as relievers out from Normal, Illinois. And we'll see them in a bit. Very tough loss for them in the first game. There's a fly ball to right center. It's deep. It is gone. That ball jumped out of here in a big hurry. Micaiah Gomez rides it out. A line drive to the right of the scoreboard. And the Lopes are on the board against Emma Lemley and the Hokies. 1-0 GCU.
And you know, this is exactly what you need from Gomez at this time in the game. I mean, it's starting to slow down a little bit. You start to lose a little bit of energy, and she just comes in here. She sees a pitch that she wants to drive, and man, she hit that a long way.
Gomez last year was at South Mountain Community College here in Phoenix after transferring from Utah, and she hit 20 home runs a season ago, so it's not like she doesn't know her way around the bases. 1-0 Lopes. Here's Kepa'a.
And those are my favorite stories to tell. The girls that, you know, go to community college, they work on a bunch of stuff, and then they come and do so well at the Division I level. It truly shows that everybody's path is different, and everybody can be successful at the Division I level if they're willing to put the work in, and Gomez absolutely is.
The breeze has picked up a little bit, blowing out to right, but that was not wind aided. That was a shot. Kepa'a, 2-1, batting 200. 3 for 15. 2 of them have gone out of the yard. Two. Samantha Kirk next, and then top of the order. Line drive, that's a base hit. That's what Shannon Hayes wants from Lovey Kepa'a. She's been striking out too much, but there was no miss in that swing.
She did a great job seeing that inside pitch, kind of just going with it. What both Gomez and Kepa'a have done is letting Lemley supply the power for them, and that's all you really need to do in this situation.
Haley Wolski, the pinch runner. Wolski stole a run for the Lopes last night. She was in there as a pinch runner and scored from second base on a wild pitch. Exciting play. Speed burner. And here's Kirk. Now you have a runner on first base and nobody out. Time for some strategy. Time is called, and there's going to be a conversation.
I mean, there's so many things you can do in this situation, both as a pitcher, as a catcher, as a hitter. With nobody out, only the third inning, the possibilities are endless.
Just a quick visit. Lemley doesn't look like she's under any undue duress. Bunted foul up along third. Still bringing it.
And it's hard to bunt with a pitcher with the speed of Lemley. I looked down to third base. I saw Coach Hayes make kind of a motion with his hands just to have Kirk kind of have her hands more forward in the box so she's able to not lose it and let the ball go into foul territory.
So what will he tell her right here? You've had these conversations.
More than likely he's telling her to, if you're going to bunt again, get the bunt down. Keep your hands in front of your hips. Or he's telling her, do what you do. Keep it simple. We just need you on base at this point.
There's that speed, Gianna. You have to hurry with that throw. And Peck tossed it a little bit low. Might have been a makeable catch down there. Dropped it beautifully. Yeah, a little low and wide to the right. So on the infield side, not right at the bag, you probably have to award the error to the third baseman. You know, you can award an error now to a recipient.
So like the first baseman?
You can
Okay.
if it's at the fielder and they drop it.
Interesting.
Oh, forget about that. The Lopes have a rally, runners at the corners. You have a run in. Now you're first and third, nobody out. And you go to the top of the order.
And I think Peck was in the right position to field that ball. I think just with the speed of Kirk alone, she's got to rush that throw. And unfortunately, that's when mistakes happen. But that's exactly what Kirk wanted her to do. That's exactly what Coach Hayes thought of when he had her bunt in the first place.
So Walski is at third base. There's a wild pitch. And coming home to score, standing up, is Haley Wolski. Well, I'll say this about Wolski. When she's on base, things have been happening. We saw that last night. And again right here in this inning.
And this just proves that everybody has a role on the GCU squad, and every role is just as important, because now we have runs on the board, and all because of Walski being able to get around the bases quickly.
2-0 Grand Canyon. Kirk, speed of her own, is at second base. Pitch up and in, out of the zone, ball 4. So now the rally continues. And here you go with more speed. Treeweiler is on first base. Kirk is on second, both of them accomplished base runners. And now you've got maybe the fastest of all of them. I don't know, Wolski's pretty quick. But Smythe in position to make some noise. See if they have her bunt. Show's bunt takes a strike. You got to think, why not in a circumstance such as this? 2-0 GCU, bottom of the third inning. Things picking up. There's a bunt. Gotta hurry. Safe at first base. Lemley looked at third, and that's just too much time against Bryn Jordan Smythe. You can see it coming, Gianna. You know what's happening, and you can't stop it. Everybody moves up 60. Kirk to third base.
It's just like you draw it up. I mean, I'm sure Coach Hayes over there, although he's not showing it, is smiling to himself. Because that's what you work on. You work on it in practice all the time. You bunt. You try and make the infield make a mistake. It's what every slapping coach will tell you, everybody from the left side. If you bunt and you can run fast, you're going to make people make mistakes. And that's what GCU is doing right now.
Well, the Lopes need to take advantage. They have 2 in, but they've got the bases loaded and nobody out. Dunkel, Fifield, and Lopez coming up. Well, if this isn't a rally par excellence for Lopes.
This is where you want to be with nobody out. I mean, you have so many opportunities to keep putting runs on the board and try and put Virginia Tech down and now, because this is a team that can easily claw their way back in.
2-0 to Dunkel. Ball 3. Well, Lemley has lost her edge. There's some throwing going on in the Tech bullpen. Full. The 3-0. Ball 4. It's a freebie and no need to sprint for the plate. You can jog home on a bases-loaded walk.
Now batting,
Dunkel,
number 20,
so
Kristen
accomplished,
Highfield.
such a good eye, and a key batter in key situations. That's really one of the, maybe the best player you'd want at the plate if you're Grand Canyon and you need a run driven in. Dunkel does her thing. Fifield gets more.
Yes.
But Dunkel has been so clutch, and she gets another one home with a 4-pitch walk, and now Fifield takes outside ball 1, 5 straight misses for Lemley.
Well, and I love the discipline that the GCU hitters are showing right now. They know Lemley is struggling a bit. They know that the Hokies defense isn't as sharp as they should be right now, and they're trying to take advantage while they can.
Coming out for a visit, and it's likely to be 1-0 as Grizzard inherits that count. Bounced up the middle to second base. They get 1. Throw to first, not in time. Really a pretty good play by Fagan. The infield was in, and that chop looked like it went off the glove of the
Now batting,
pitcher.
number
We'll see it
32,
again here.
Ramsey Lopez.
Yeah, I think it was deflected. That ball was on its way to center field, but it's good enough for another run, another RBI for Fifield. Dunkel is out at second base, 4 unassisted. Smythe goes to third base, and coming home is Treeweiler. So the Lopes have struck for 4, and a great chance to get more. Just 1 out. Runners at the corners.
And I loved Fifield's approach for that at bat. I mean, swinging at the first pitch can be super risky, but she obviously knows that this pitcher needs to come in, get strikes, and get them out of this inning. And so she was ready for it when she saw it.
Ramsey Lopez struck out against Lemley in the second inning. Breeze out to right. Flied to left. Flied deep. Flied gone. Ramsey Lopez circles the bases. A big 3. What's it like to have Lopez back in the lineup? My goodness. 7-0 GCU.
I mean, Tim, we talk about it all the time, how one swing of the bat can change the momentum of a game. 7-0 seems crazy to think about, considering we were just up by a couple runs a moment ago.
Here's Tinley Lucas. This has been a crazy inning. Three runs batted in for Lopez. And the Lopes, let's dissect this. Ground ball, base hit to right field. Lucas is aboard. Still just 1 out. Try to absorb this. GCU went out
Now batting, number
in
17,
order in the first inning,
Gomez.
in order in the second inning. And of those 6, Lemley struck out 5 of them. Check it, 4. She had 4 Ks, a pop-up, and a lazy fly ball. The very next inning, the Lopes have batted around. They're on the second time through the order. And there's another base hit. To second base goes Lucas. Well, one thing you need to do as a GCU player is forget about the score.
Now batting, number 33, Lovey Kepa'a.
You just play. There's no let up. You can't do that. This is too good of an opponent across the field. It's the number 17 ranked team in the country. So it's about keeping it going.
And this just shows that stringing hits together can put really good teams away really quickly. I mean, small ball, then you get a big hit. And then a little more small ball, then you get an error. And then things just start to, work in your favor, and you have to take what you got and run with it.
Kepa'a started this inning off after the home run. Makai Gomez woke up the crowd in the dugout with a line drive home run to right. But then with the bases empty, Kepa'a started the merry-go-round, if you will, with a line drive single to left field. Now here she is for her second at-bat in the inning. Gomez is 2 for 2 in the third inning. She's on first. Kepa'a has a chance to match that. It's 1-2 to Lovey. Savannah Kirk next. Two and two. Hit the center. Ritter with the catch.
Now batting, number 0, Savannah Kirk.
Gianna, when you've been struggling at the plate like Kepa'a has been in terms of making contact, she had 7 strikeouts already in the first weekend of the season. It bodes well to have a home run, or rather a hard line drive base hit, and a fly ball to the track. Those are good signs.
Absolutely, yeah. This is what you want to start to see from Lovey. You want her to start to get comfortable, and you want everything to start to click. And sometimes that takes a couple of games, but once it clicks, she's good to go.
Alexis Soto is batting for Savannah Kirk. So a hunch bet for Shannon Hayes. Dribbler up along first. Soto was a pinch hitter last night. In the Cal game. Fly to right. Fooled and goes around. 1-2. Lucas at second base. Gomez at first. 2 out, third inning. Strike 3 swinging. Out in front. Soto retired. And the Lopes finally done. They send 12 batters to the plate. Lyle Blackwell. For the Hokies, 6, 7, 8 in the lineup. And the sun has gone far enough over the stadium now that it's peeking through that remaining opening. So like we were back early, you can see that there. Golden back in the sunshine. To Hopper to second base. And it's a wild throw to first by Lucas, and the Lopes get the out anyway on the friendly carom. My goodness. It was a routine play. Look at this. 1-2 hop, easy play, plenty of time, fires it. And the throw to second base to Dunkel covering. I think that throw came from Lucas. The catcher chased it down and played the carom. There's a fly ball to left. It's deep. Gomez goes back. It's gone. Well, Virginia Tech is on the board.
I didn't know if that had a chance to get out. It kind of hung up there for a second or two, and I thought Gomez was going to have a shot to try and rob it, but it just carried. I didn't even have time to talk about Lucas's great play.
Well, it's nice that Lucas made the great play.
Absolutely.
Instead of being
Saves a
7-2, it's 7-1.
Yep.
Well, you didn't expect that Virginia Tech would just sit back and say, well, okay. Come out with great resolve. That's what great teams do. 7-1. Outfield playing well around to left. There is nobody in right field. Smythe way off the line into right center. You can see that. Hit a ball to straightaway right field. It's extra bases. 2-1 to Blackwell with Yeager next. Bunt attempt. She missed a pitch that was well up and away.
You know, as a slapper, this is kind of the defense you expect to see. Your outfield shifted all the way to the left side, which normally means you're not going to get a ton of pitches on the inside corner. You're going to get a lot on the outside.
Right back to Golden. Underhands to first. Almost rolled that one by Fifield. You know, defense has been a subject of conversation here the first weekend and a half. Lopes have committed 2+ errors in 4 different games already. And that's not like this program, but it is early. A little different look on the infield this year. Pop to left. Gomez is there, and she catches that one for the 3rd out of the inning. So Virginia Tech gets a solo home run from Chatfield, but that is all. And at the end, yeah, it's cute. Looks like a grandpa and a little granddaughter.
That's so cute.
Swing and a miss from Ashley Treeweiler. And we are underway in the bottom of the 4th. Well, let's see what the Lopes can do as an encore after putting up a touchdown in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Reconstruct that inning. A little bit of damage was done by everyone in the batting order. All 9 players contributed. One and 2 to Treeweiler. Ashley, 0 for 1. Walked in the 3rd. Ball 2. Well, we'll have to go back some and do some research when we have a chance. See the last time the Lopes scored 7 runs in an inning. Ground ball, base hit. Look at that at bat, Gianna. She sticks the bat out and just guides it through an open spot in the infield.
You know, it's so funny. I love when she goes up there to hit because everybody expects her to be this crazy, huge power hitter that's just going to beat you over the fence every single time. And no, she'll just beat you with this ground ball in the infield because she's that good at placing it and knows exactly where it needs to go. It's awesome.
Leadoff single. Grand Canyon begins to build an inning again. And she's running. The pitch bounced off the foot of Smythe. And Treeweiler will come back. Yeah, you look at Treeweiler and you think, man, her stats are great and batting 400. She must just be mashing line drives all over the field. And there's a bunt single, there's an infield single, and there's a dribbler, and then this one's pulled through the hole, a little roller.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's my favorite.
That's your game, girl.
It's my favorite to see it.
0-1. Smythe look out. Ooh, self-defense almost. Almost walked into that one, Bryn Jordan. 1-1 the count, but you can see that in the mind of Shannon Hayes, well, let's start up another inning, and why not bunt her in this situation? We'll see.
I mean, with the success he had last inning, using the small ball to his advantage, might as well keep trying it.
Offensive timeout for Grand Canyon. See if they can rustle up a little something. You know, Shannon Hayes was talking to me about the ball reduction situation. They had a measure of 400. There's numbers associated with balls and firmness, if you will, just like there is with bats, with the strength, tensile strength of the metal, so that you have fair competition, hot bats and hot balls. Pitches inside, 2-2, and there's been a ball reduction. Last year it was a 400 ball, and that's been cut to 375. That's the compression of the ball. And with that in mind, it figures that there will be a home run reduction by about 10%. Off speed, strike 3. Good pitch. Smythe caught looking, 1 out.
Now batting, number 9, Caitlin Dunkel.
So, you know, you think about that, and the NCAA or the softball folks felt like maybe there were too many home runs. That's a way to dial it back a little bit.
I was going to ask you what you thought the reason was.
Well, that's what he thinks the reason was.
That would make sense.
I mean, it would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want the game to get tilted one way or the other, and it becomes an arcade game if that's the way it's let to go.
Well, and you watch teams like Oklahoma play, and it feels like every 4 at-bats is a home run, so that would make sense.
Well, I kind of felt that way yesterday watching Cal.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
They're a similar type of team. There's going to be a lot of long ball.
Yes.
2-0 is the count to Dunkel. She walked with the bases loaded in her last at-bat. That was a dribbler to short. That's going to be a tough play, but they get her. And rounding second and jogging into third base, Treeweiler. Intelligent base running. She saw that there was nobody at the bag, so why stop?
Number 20, Kristen Flyfield.
Yeah, that's just showing you got a high softball IQ. I mean, you watch the third baseman crash, the shortstop's got to crash, everybody's going towards first, leaves that base wide open, and she was ready. She was turning for it about halfway.
Well, let's see if the Lopes can squeeze home another one. It's an infield out off the bat of Dunkel, but it does move Treeweiler to third where you can score. Off a boo-boo, a wild pitch, a pass ball, an error, along with the base hit circumstance, of course. And here's someone who has a lot of base hits, Kristen Fifield. No hits yet today. She's 0 for 2. Ooh,
Man.
she just missed that one. No balls and 2 strikes to Fifield. 4 more hits last night. She's now at 133 for her career. She's trying to catch you for number 5. You are at 176.
I didn't even know
Wild
that.
pitch, and the Lopes get another run. That's why you hustle like Treeweiler to get the third base.
Absolutely. I mean, this is exactly how you draw things up like this. You wait for the other team to give you that opportunity and you take it. And that doesn't happen unless she's being smart on the bases and trying to take those extra bases.
8-1, the Lopes get the run back from the home run in the top of the inning. Fifield goes down on strikes for the second time today.
At the end of 4,
U versus GCU basketball game. The Lopes have been very, very good this year. I think they're 22-2, if I remember correctly. So that's happening over at the Global Credit Union Arena. Fun fact.
You like the blackout stuff?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be so loud in there.
Usually is.
Yeah, and against CBU of all teams, we want to win that one.
It'll be rocking.
Always is,
It's an amazing success story, Grand Canyon basketball.
for sure.
It's good to be in the national conversation, isn't it?
It's not a bad thing.
Fly ball to center, Treeweiler. 1 out, Ritter retired. Emma, leadoff hitter, 0 for 3 today. Golden has handled her. Speaking of Golden, she's out there in the 5th inning, and
Cameron Fagan.
there was a hope that she'd go 4. We're into 5. 1 out. This is Cam Fagan with Addie Green on deck. Ground ball to shortstop. 6-3 put out, 2 out. The first 2 batters, you know, it looks almost as if Golden is just saying, here it is.
Now batting,
Throw you
number
some
6, Addie Green.
hittable pitches versus trying to nitpick and
Right.
get behind on the count. And very quickly, she's got 2 out and nobody on for Green.
And I'm sure her and Mary Beth and Coach Hayes, for that matter, had a strategy on how they were going to work through this lineup. And I think working through these first 4 or 5 hitters, making sure they stay off the bases as much as possible, was probably their main goal.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the pregame conversation about that did not include the phrase, when we're up by 7 in the 5th
Absolutely.
against the 17th ranked team in the country. 7-2. Solo home run off the bat of Green. The 2 runs scored by Virginia Tech, both long balls that left
Now batting,
the yard
number
in a
55,
hurry.
Ani Rose.
And they've come in the last 2 innings, a solo homer in the 4th, a solo homer in the 5th. Annika Rose, who came on to replace Rachel Castine when the star shortstop was hit by a pitch. Back in the 1st inning, that hand might have been swelling up on her. And ball 1, now ball 2. And it really wouldn't surprise me, if Rose gets on, if we see a visit to the mound. You don't want to give this team a chance to get going.
Absolutely, and I think we've done a really good job so far of handling their top hitters and making it really difficult for them to get on base. However, they're showing a little bit more fight right now. They're trying to claw their way back into this game, and as soon as you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and that's not what you want in this situation.
Rose lined a single to left field in the third inning. And there's another one, same spot. 2-out base hit. Neither one of those hit very hard, almost fisters down closer to the handle, but both of them find a lot of that green space out there. And safely aboard is Rose in order to continue the inning with Bree Peck. Shannon Hayes out to speak with Michael Hernandez, and as we expected, there is a pitching change at hand. So, predictable and expected. Great job by Goes facing Cal. She took the loss. First pitch strike, always helpful. Peck has been a pain in the neck for Lopes pitchers. That would be Golden. We'll see if Hudson is any different. Fouled off probably, what, 8 or 10 pitches in her 2 at-bats. It's 0-1. So Hudson did take the loss against Cal, but had a stretch where she retired 9 of 10 against that very good hitting team. And they're looking at something on Hudson's
It's the
wrist or the
pitch call.
Got it.
Just got to make sure technology's working.
Man, oh man. Sports have changed, haven't they?
So much.
The electronic device. Bouncer to third. Nice play.
Great play.
Wow. Lovey Kepa'a backhand shortstop, short hop to throw her out and retire. Lucas singled in her last at-bat. 1 for 2, struck out in the second inning.
And this is the time when the Hokies really need to hold the Lopes here. They can't let them get any extra base hits, runs, anything. They want to try and stay as much in this game as possible. As soon as the Lopes start scoring more runs, they're out of this game.
1-1. Yeah, there's such a thing as teams that answer. And then what that means is after somebody scores, you come up and score yourself. Last 4 half innings have been answers. Well, 3. Lopes got their big 7 in the third. It was an answer by Tech in the top of the 4th, but it was something in their next at-bat. Lopes came back. They answered the answer. And then Tech with another home run. So it's going back and forth, but that 7 looms large. Eight to Grand Canyon, bottom of the 5th inning. There's been a lot of, well, for lack of a better description, cross-conferencing. Conferences crisscrossing through the non-league portion of schedules. Do that every year. When you get in these tournaments where you have 5 different opponents. Your conference is the WAC if you're Grand Canyon, and you're playing host to the Missouri Valley Conference and the ACC and the Pac-12, and last week you had the Big Ten, and those are great opportunities because it allows you to compare where you are when ratings begin to be compiled, and it is advantageous as Lucas takes her walk.
Now batting, number 17.
Here's Gomez. It's advantageous when you can win a game or a series of games against a tough league. The school may not be great, but the league is great. Well, in this case, Virginia Tech is a great team from a great conference, and this would be an important win for Grand Canyon. And you schedule these games accordingly. It's a good opportunity for Utah Valley against Oregon State today. WAC schools meeting a pack. UTA hosting Michigan State. Seattle at Santa Clara. You've got the WAC against the West Coast Conference. Southern Utah at San Diego. Tomorrow, Seattle is at UNLV. Well, that's a Mountain West Conference opponent. DePaul, out of the Big East, is at Texas Arlington tomorrow. So you get the idea that those games matter. They matter to the conference. They matter to GCU, even though they're not playing any of those opponents. They have opponents of their own that other schools benefit from. The rest of the league would love to see the Lopes win this game tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or is it 1 and 2? 1-2 to Gomez. Micaiah working on a perfect day. It's only been 2 at-bats, but it's been pretty good. Homer single. The home run to right opened the scoring in the game. It was scoreless at that time. It's now 8-2. Grounds it foul past Sandra Wente in the first base coach's box. As all first base coaches do, they inherit the gear that other people take off, the hitting paraphernalia.
She's got it right there.
Yeah, there it is. Batters get down there and they say, "Here, coach," and they offload. Well, we've seen games where the coaches have to call time and have somebody come out and take the shin guards and the what have you.
My favorite is when they put them all over and they just try and hold as many as possible.
1 and 2. Dribbler. Gomez retired 1-3, but it does move Lucas to second base. Scoring position with 2 out. And here's Kepa'a.
Number 33, Lovey Kepa'a.
Kepa'a, line single, scored a run in the 3rd inning, fly to center, also in the 3rd inning.
I also love that Tinley Lucas runs for herself. I think that's so cool. Most of the time catchers don't get that opportunity, so it means she's a smart base runner too.
Kepa'a pops foul to Bree Peck, and the Lopes strand 1. Score game feels like to me. Coming up on the 2-hour mark. The Lopes played a long one last night. game that involved all kinds of defensive hijinks, substitutions, and various switches and changes and jukes and jives and all that. And the game time ended up being 2:40 last night. The previous high was 2:23 game last weekend. 2:40 is a long softball game.
We were just talking about how fast softball games go.
Yeah, well, when the shoe fits.
They normally do.
Yeah. You wouldn't think we'd be going 2:40 in this one. It's the 6th inning. Game started at 4:05, but it is 6 o'clock in the desert. Boy, a beautiful evening. Sun has set. Remember, first of two for Grand Canyon. We're supposed to begin at 6:30 against Illinois State. That's not happening. Bouncing ball to first, one hop to Fifield. Steps on the sack. Fifield spent most of last year in right field. She's at first base now. And last night played an inning at third base. Inning or two, so what can she not do? Could probably play shortstop if you put her over there.
She did in high school, fun fact. And she pitched.
Leggett retired 3 unassisted then, and here's Chatfield. Yeah, she was probably all tournament or all league or something as a pitcher.
I feel like she also broke a record when in high school, too. That wouldn't shock me either.
Well, she broke records at Grand Canyon.
It's just what she does.
Yeah.
She holds multiple school records in strikeouts, wins, and home runs in high school.
0-2 pitch. Meanwhile, Hudson throwing strikes. Sure is what you want to do in this situation. You're up 6.
You just got to hold them down pretty much.
Don't want to be walking people.
Yes.
Just misses away 1-2.
Okay, Tim, I have another fact for you.
Uh-oh.
Fife holds in volleyball, too, an all-time career record in aces, and then is second in all-time in digs.
Aces and digs. That doesn't make any sense. Those are different positions. Strike 3 called, and down goes Chatfield. Chatfield, a home run in her last at-bat. Called out on strikes this time through, second out of the inning, and here's Blackwell.
And this is what you expect to see from your pitcher coming in for relief. You need her to throw strikes. You need her to get big outs, and that's exactly what Haley Hudson is doing. She's came in, she's calm, she's cool, she's collected, and she's just trying to get the Lopes a win here.
2 out, nobody on to Blackwell. There's a strike. Well, it could be said that the Lopes had been sloppy on occasion to start this season, even in victory, with respect to those 4 2+ error games. This game has been extremely well played. Not over yet, clearly. A formidable opponent still with life. 1-2. Check swing foul off the bat. Megan Golden made some big pitches when she was in there, when the Hokies had the bases loaded in the first inning. Now we're in the sixth, bottom half of the sixth inning. We can tell you that we'll probably be back on the air 30 minutes after this one. Of course, you'll have to go back to the link and sign in all over again. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Bottom of the sixth, Lopes are leading by 6. A chop to third, that's a base hit for Savannah Kirk. Second time she's gone that way today. That's just an intentional bang it in the dirt shot.
It's what every slapping coach dreams of.
Yeah, that's
it's
a
the
dream.
perfect thing.
That's a perfect ball right there. And the infield hit. Means that the rally caps are on again for the Lopes. You go back to the top of the order and you've got Treeweiler. No little ball attempt there. Big cut, fouled back.
I also feel like very similar to last year, there's no break in the Lopes lineup. You can never just sit back and say, oh, okay, I've got the next 3. You have to constantly be on your A game against them.
There's a bunt up along third base, but it went off the foot of Treeweiler, and that, ouch, hurts a little bit. You know, that's that refrigerator on the toe. That thing right now is stinging really big time. Probably numb. Now it's fun to watch them run when you're numb. 0-2 in the dirt. Ah, shake it off, right?
That's what they always say.
Treeweiler 1 for 2, but she's been on base twice. Also had a walk in the third inning. Scored 2 runs. Strikes out.
Now batting, number 7, Bryn Jordan Smythe.
Bryn Jordan 1 for 2. Not like her, she struck out twice today. That's very un-Smythe-like. But did have a bunt single in the third inning, scored a run, dribbles it to third base, retired on the flip by Peck to Leggett. First ball swinging, Smythe retired. After the leadoff single, a couple of quick outs, and now here's Dunkel. Runner at second base, gap in right center. How many times have we seen Caitlin Dunkel deliver a 2-out hit with a runner in scoring position?
It's almost easy to expect at this point. She does it so many times.
Strike, high strike, away. Oh for 2, though. She had a run batted in with a bases loaded walk in the third. Dunkel is batting .250 right now, which is horrifying. For her. Spent most of the last 2 years at .350. Just a matter of time. Guess what? Absolutely no surprise whatsoever. A 2-out run batted in for Dunkel. It's just amazing. If you went back through scorebooks and you looked it up, Well, look, when you have us, we sit upstairs and you can almost predict it.
It seems that way sometimes, absolutely. It was a great job. And that was an inside pitch, and she took it the other way just to try and get that run across.
9-2 Grand Canyon. As scampering home was Kirk, who started it all off with that chop to third base. And the Lopes manufacture another one, build the lead back to 7. Fifield with one more crack against Grizzard. The pitch is high and away. Fifield won't have very many hitless games, but she's hitless right now, 0 for 3. Lights just now beginning to take effect, not fully yet. It's dusk. Conditions for hitting at this time of day are okay, not great. About another 30 minutes will be good as day turns to night in the desert. Uh-oh. Kristen Fifield is not hitless today. Fair to say, sitting on a pitch, Gianna, and Fifield goes yard. And that's a mercy win over a top 20 school.
And it's almost like we could have called that.
What an exclamation point